Avast you scurvy dogs, and welcome back to TrikBrix. I'm Jamie, and today we're going to continue our celebration of LEGO Pirates' 30th anniversary by taking a look at a true classic, 6273 Rock Island Refuge. Released in 1991, it contains 381 pieces, 7 minifigures, and retailed for $66 in the US. I count myself among the many that view this set as the greatest pirate fort of all time, and I'm stoked to share it with you guys today. But before we dive in, let's take a quick peek at the instructions. On the front, we'll find this beautiful box art, which uses the same background art we saw in the original 1989 wave, with the pink sky and this little island back here. And if you look very close, you'll even see a pirate ship way off in the distance. And if we flip it over, we won't find any alternate builds, just a final picture of the set. So let's take a look at the real thing. This right here is what a pirate hideout should be. Built up on 2 base plates, one blue 16x32 and one 32x32 raised base plate, it makes for an excellent base of operations for our plundering scalawags. I'm going to start over here on the left, which is home to the loading dock. There's a gray shark on the prow, which is always fun to get, and it's nice that there's lots of open space for smaller boats here, since we actually get 2 of them in this set, but we'll take a closer look at those a bit later. For now, we've got this modest dock with a few bits of detail. Right to left, there's a small barrel with a cutlass sticking out of its lid, which if we remove, we'll find a few yellow studs inside. I like to see these as some sort of food rather than treasure, since our pirates will no doubt have worked up a considerable appetite after a long day of pillaging. Plus, we actually do get some treasure in this chest here, 4 pieces of gold to be exact. A stack of cannonballs are waiting patiently to be lobbed at anyone daring to come near Rock Island, and their counterpart sits next to them behind this short wall. It isn't attached, so you're able to position it anywhere you'd like. Originally, my set came with a non-firing cannon, but I've since upgraded to the much cooler version. And since this whole area is a loading dock, we're going to need a way to load and unload cargo, right? Luckily, the designers felt the same way and included a handy crane for doing just that. The design is fairly simple, making use of a modified plate in lieu of a hook for attaching to cargo items, and the string runs through this Technic plate, which can be swung side to side, and then a TrikBrix, keeping everything aligned. And just like the last pirate theme set we looked at, Eldorado Fortress, we won't find a winch at the other end of the string, just another modified plate that can be pulled to raise and lower the load. But that's about it for the dock, so let's go ashore. This set shares another similarity with Eldorado Fortress in the form of this raised base plate. The shape is identical, and so is the printing in fact, save for the color of the rocks, green here instead of gray. But as we ascend the iconic ramp, we won't find any wooden doors or ornate architecture here, but rather a fort with a very natural, organic feel, almost as if it could have been hewn from the island rock itself, which kinda makes sense now that I think about it, given the name of the set. To further enhance that idea, you've got a lot of foliage growing all over here, most of which are adjustable from side to side for just the right look, and a full palm tree standing guard at the front corner. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go back to the entrance, where we'll find the first of 3 printed corner panels we get. These saw a ton of service in the old castle theme, but I think they fit in perfectly here as well. This one in particular helps form the base of this tower, home to some vegetation and featuring a large window on the side for keeping an eye on the dock. You've got a walkway with a very short wall along the rear, and this set of dark gray stairs. This is a single molded piece, the same one we saw way back in episode 4's Forbidden Island, the original pirate hideout. But before we climb these, let's see what else the ground floor has to offer. In this corner, we'll find a small brig with stationary bars on one side, and a barred door on the other. Not a ton of room inside, but you can squeeze a few Imperials here without much trouble. To the left of the cell, we've got the pit, always present on this baseplate mold. It's covered by a grate, and there's a bar here to make it an easy open affair. What's not all that easy is getting things in and out of here if you don't have child-sized hands, due to the roof above. But regardless, you can use this as storage for treasure, foodstuffs, or as a dungeon when you run out of room in the cell. But that's all for the ground floor, so let's get up these stairs and see what we can find on the second level. Lots of open space here for your pirates to plot their plunders, and most of it is walled around the edges so they don't fall off when they've had too much rum. And so Popsy the parrot has a nice place to perch. Over on the left, we've got a lantern and this rope bridge leading to the crane tower, where you can station a lookout. And you have 2 more lanterns here, one on each side. Back to the main section. If we spin this around, we'll get a better look at this fireplace/oven, where we'll find a skillet atop a trans-red stud, representing some hot coals. I appreciate this little area because, pirates gotta eat too. The oven is nestled into the base of this tall chimney, which leads us up to the very top of Rock Island, where we have another rope bridge. I like how this one is connected to these rigging pieces on either side, so you don't have to imagine a way for your minifigs to get up here, as is so often the case with these old sets. And it looks like Spinoza the monkey likes it too. Finally, topping everything off, a large Jolly Roger flies in the breeze, letting everyone know just who controls this island. And speaking of the devil, we've got a pretty nice crew of cutthroats here. First, the twins, each with striped shirts, bandanas, and bushy mustaches. They both get a flintlock, and the guy in blue also wields a cutlass. The pirate wench makes another appearance here. She's one of the less common minifigures in the theme, so it's always nice to see her. She too gets a cutlass, as well as the treasure map. The first mate is next in line, brandishing a musket. Unlike the wench, he's one of the most common pirate minifigs. And heading up all these scalawags is Captain Redbeard himself, carrying a flintlock and a cutlass. The king of the pirates, he's dead set on protecting their treasure no matter what the cost. And that's bad news for these 2 trespassing Imperials. They each get a pistol, and the soldier is outfitted with a brown backpack. And we don't expect any of these guys to be swimming ashore, so each faction is given a small watercraft. The Imperials get a red boat, complete with blue and white striped cloth sail, a small Imperial flag, and a pair of brown oars. The mast is built on a turntable so you can catch just the right amount of wind. Our pirates are given a small raft with what appears to be a makeshift sail, a Jolly Roger, and a simple rudder made up of an oar piece. And thanks to the way the floats are constructed, you're able to roll this across your imaginary ocean. And that about wraps it up. Rock Island Refuge easily makes it into my personal top 5 pirate sets of all time. And being someone who roots for the pirates over the bluecoats, I actually like this one even better than Eldorado Fortress. The extra base plate makes it appear quite a bit larger, and I really enjoy the more organic, tropical island look here. As always, it could benefit from some additional details on your end, such as more foliage and perhaps some sort of furniture so your pirates don't have to stand all the time. But all of that is easily added. In the end, this was the largest and most expensive set from the theme in 1991. And although that doesn't always translate to being the best, it certainly does in this case, and I consider it a standout in my collection. And if you're thinking about adding it to yours, the going rate for a used set seems to hover right around $125, which isn't too awful in my opinion. A sealed copy is going to cost well over $500 though, and something this cool shouldn't be confined to a box, so unless you're a serious collector of sealed sets, I'd recommend going used for this one. But that's all I've got for you today. If you enjoyed this review, please consider leaving a like, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I'll be back soon with the next episode in our ongoing Pirates retrospective, but until then, this has been Jamie for TrikBrix. As always, thanks for watching, take care, and play well!